I'm Bill with TANDEMKROSS, making good guns great. Before I get started, let me ask you to please like and share this video on whatever social media platform you found it on. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and MeWe. And if you're on YouTube, please click subscribe and the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll find out right away. Now, the Ruger 1022 is a modern classic. It's many shooters' first firearm, and it sees use in everything from high-level competitions to taking pot shots at woodchucks off the back porch. It's a great gun that has hardly changed at all in the nearly 60 years that it's existed, but that's not always a plus. For example, it lacks the slingshot functionality that many similar firearms have off the shelf, and its bolt lock lever is hardly a lever at all. It's a thin metal plate that protrudes less than half an inch from the trigger housing and can be very difficult to operate in the heat of the moment. But what if there was a single part that solved both of these issues? Well, there is. It's the BoltKeeper extended bolt lock lever for Ruger 1022 by TANDEMKROSS. On the outside of the rifle, the BoltKeeper's large knurled lever grants you easy access and ease of operation, making locking the bolt open to show clear easier. On the inside, we changed the shape of the plate slightly to let you slingshot the bolt closed, like many modern firearms. Check out how much faster and easier the BoltKeeper makes getting around in the chamber and showing clear compared to a stock 1022.
All right, we're gonna have a little race. We have Alex with a BoltKeeper in his 1022 and Tyler with a stock bolt release plate. What they're gonna do is they're both going to pick up their rifles, insert a magazine, chamber a round, fire that round, drop the mag, and then show clear and set the rifle down. And we're gonna find out whether Alex with the BoltKeeper or Tyler with the stock bolt release can do it faster. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
The BoltKeeper is a pretty simple install that only requires common tools to get it done. Let me show you how it goes.
To do this install, you will need a 5/32 Allen wrench, a 7/64 Allen wrench, a 1/8 or smaller punch, and we recommend safety glasses because there are some parts under spring tension. To begin, as always, make sure your firearm is clear and safe. And then loosen the takedown screw and separate the barrel and receiver from the stock. Then use the punch to push out the 2 cross pins that hold the trigger housing in the receiver. Now make sure your safety is set to fire and to carefully, slowly let the hammer down. Now you can use the punch to punch out the hammer pin and the ejector pin. And remove the ejector, the hammer and hammer spring, and the mainspring. Then use the punch to punch out this pin right here, which holds the bolt release plate and the mag release in. Once the pin is out, you will be able to remove the mag release, the spring and plunger that holds the mag release in place, and the bolt release plate. Set your old bolt release plate aside because you will not be needing it again, and grab your new BoltKeeper. Orient it
as shown, like so, and slide it down into place so that this hole through the plate lines up with this hole through the body of the trigger housing. Then replace the mag release retaining spring and plunger. You'll have to push it all the way in so that the spring is compressed and the end of the plunger is farther than flush with the outside of the trigger housing. And then insert the mag release. The top part of the mag release should be trapped alongside the right wall of the trigger housing by that spring and plunger. Now make sure that the hole through the BoltKeeper and through the mag release are all lined up with the hole through the body of the trigger housing, and replace that retaining pin. The bolt release plate will still have a lot of play, but if you move the mag release, it should move and return to its position as normal. So the next step is to reinstall the hammer and the hammer spring. The hammer should be oriented as shown with the slot facing towards the rear. The hammer spring should be oriented with the leg with the angle in it forward and placed on the right side of the hammer. You'll have to lift up the bolt release plate a little bit to slide the hammer in past it. But then once the hole through the hammer is aligned with the hole in the housing, you can replace the hammer pin as well. And then replace the mainspring. The wide end of the mainspring goes into this hole in the rear of the trigger housing. If you can't see it from the inside, it is also visible on the outside. So put the flat end of that into that hole, and then the thin end slides into the slot on the back of the hammer. And now you can cock the hammer back. That hammer spring should still have plenty of play to it. That is normal. All right, next step is to replace the ejector and the pin that holds it in place. So that pin goes through this hole right here in the housing and through a corresponding hole on the bolt release plate to hold that in place. Don't push that pin all the way through just yet. Grab your ejector, orient it as shown. That pin is going to go through the hole in the round end of the ejector, and then the pointy end of the ejector will sit in this slot towards the front of the trigger housing. Now, once again, don't push this pin all the way through yet. You have to push the hammer spring all the way forward and bend the straight leg down under that pin. And now you can push it all the way through. Then grab your punch and make sure that the bottom bent leg of that spring is sitting in the groove on the cross piece of the bolt release plate. It's that narrow piece of metal that goes across the entire middle inside of the housing. All right, and now your trigger housing is fully reassembled, and you can put it back into the receiver. Set it into place. Replace the cross pins. Put the receiver back into the stock.
tighten that takedown screw back up. And only now, once the gun is pretty much entirely reassembled, do you attach the extension to the BoltKeeper. So grab the screw and that knurled extension knob. Set the knob onto the protruding raised circle part of the BoltKeeper, and then use the 7/64 Allen wrench to screw it down. Loctite may not be a bad idea on this. And then you're done. You may want to make sure that everything works the way you expect it to, that your bolt holds open and can slingshot. But that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions about this video, be sure to let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll find out right away. You can also find us elsewhere on the internet like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and MeWe. And of course, you can find all of our products at www.tandemkross.com.